But I know that you and I both came across quite a scary website, which we will not name, where all of this was being tied into this whole kind of marriage. They created this marriage meat market, hadn't they? And they use the word polygyny, which is a very kind of, it's almost like a word out of zoology, like a very animal-like. But they keep talking about polygyny, and they keep talking about this male, successful alpha Muslim man is also going to be a polygamous man. That's kind of how I'm reading it. But I'm really interested in your views when you've come across those websites and the Instagram stuff. What's your reading of that?
I think it's really interesting, the whole polygyny argument. So when you consider where is this coming from, right? Like why have we suddenly come up with this idea that one man would want many women involved in his life? And I actually find it really funny. If you look at right-wing content or manosphere content, they argue that for the man, it is intrinsic to have many partners. It's actually within his nature. Now, when you cross-reference that with what the Muslim manosphere is saying, it's the exact same thing. The man, by nature, by design, his blueprint, it's written in him that he wants to have many partners, regardless of if that is religious doctrine, if it's even allowed. It doesn't matter, because they will bring this up in their conversations that, oh, don't you want to have multiple wives? And then religion comes in. So the actual stem of the problem is the same. The core argument is the exact same. But in the Muslim manosphere, it does branch out into religion, and it branches out in two ways. One is they will pretend like they're doing women a favor with the whole protection providing thing. That's number one. And number two is the relation to the Prophet. And so it becomes sunnah. So by doing this, you've actually created two almost, I mean, in their kind of view, two almost valid arguments that are now allowed religiously. So we've actually evolved from the idea of this being an intrinsic thing, but in fact that God and his decree has allowed this thing to happen. And therefore you're actually being pious by doing so. So we started at this stem, which was, okay, really strange and I mean, a bit insane, I think is the only way to say it. And we've kind of evolved through these stages, and we've now entered this phase of Muslim manosphere where we have not only weaponized certain teachings of the Quran, but we've actually just started green lighting things that a certain group of men perhaps want. The people who are saying this do want to have multiple wives, and they've now made it a religious decree. And that's why I think it's so dangerous, because we're no longer arguing feelings and this almost primal state of living. We're actually arguing piety. And so for a lot of the younger men, they will say, oh, well, if I can't have multiple wives, am I not as good as a Muslim? Have I failed? And this becomes so much more complex than you can even imagine. You're going into multiple new strains of discussion and argument around this. But for me, that is the way it works. It's this core stem, and it just keeps branching out and out and out. And eventually you hit the end point, which is that we've actually just brought in religious decree. And that's why it's becoming such a problem within the communities, because it's been green lighted.